Alright, well, it's always a good thing when government shows its hand. In this case, it's Brussels, Belgium, where there was a fake concert that was advertised on Facebook, and despite, I think, the organizer of this fake event saying it's fake, the weather was unseasonably nice in Brussels, so people came out to the park anyway. Now, Brussels has had strict lockdown orders, and this is not allowed to congregate in this fashion, and the police do what they do in nearly any country, and they crack down on seemingly peaceful people enjoying a nice day in the park. All because, again, of an insane overreaction on the part of the governments, an overreaction that doesn't do anything. Brussels apparently has had very strict measures in place since October. That is a half a year at this point, and they're still seeing cases rising. And the COVID situation is not nearly as good as it could be, probably not as good as it could be if, say, they got rid of all these restrictions. I know it's a dead horse, and there's a horse on screen. Terrible. Not even a joke. But it still has to be beat. Sweden, Florida, South Dakota, and now you can add Nicaragua to that list. No lockdowns, no mask mandates, barely any of this nonsense, and COVID is not an issue there. Nicaragua, by the way, I believe from the get-go began administering hydrochloroquine, again, that drug that has been used for decades with great promise against malaria, which admittedly isn't a viral infection. It's a parasite, I think, but hydrochloroquine has also been useful against other viral infections, and was found to be great in combating COVID-19, which, by the way, I just posted a tweet about this because right in the middle of this, it kind of clicked in my head. The hypocrisy of the people who demonized hydrochloroquine as being dangerous, despite the problems coming from it being statistically negligible and it having been used for decades. Now those same people are pushing an experimental rush to vaccine on us. How does this work? But anyway, I digress. The insane government in Belgium and the insane governments around the world like to pretend that these places don't exist. Right? The Florida, South Dakota, Sweden, Nicaragua. These places that haven't become authoritarian hellholes and are doing quite well. Well, Nicaragua has got its history with authoritarianism, but that's besides the point. You see, this should be fantastic news. You mean we don't have to become authoritarian and things can actually go well, perhaps even better, as people on lockdown are stuck in their homes, and that seems to help it spread when people do inevitably come in contact with one another, and someone who might not have been infected now is infected because they've been in a home for days on end with someone infected. This should be great news. Now, do governments, save for a few, act on this? No, because they don't care about you or your well-being. They'll still crack down on you, spray you with pepper spray, and shoot you with a water cannon on a good day for them. They'll do this in the name of public health and your health. But the insane measures don't work and actually cause the situation to be massively worse in terms of well-being, especially when you add the whole drug addiction, suicide, child abuse, and economic devastation into the mix. Lockdowns are horrifying for a population, far more than COVID ever would be. But governments don't care. They're drunk with power, and they're so intoxicated with it, they don't want to listen to reason. Because if they did that, they might convince themselves that these authoritarian measures are not only ineffective, but actually counterproductive. But that doesn't matter to them. They have the power, they like it, they don't want to give it up. But that's all for now. Like, subscribe, share this video with anyone you can. It's a huge help. Take it easy.